I'm so glad to be here at USANA Health Sciences. I'm here in Park City, Utah right now. We've got beautiful summertime. It was late getting here this year. We actually had snow last weekend. So if you can believe it or not, we actually had a full-blown snowstorm last weekend. Came through, but now it's gorgeous. I'm really happy that I could be here with you guys. I'm in my home studio. The picture you see is not live right now, but that's a picture I took off my back deck 2 nights ago. So during the summer solstice, the late sunset, I went ahead and took a picture of that, and I'm using that as my background shot. But anyway, thank you so much. You know what? It's an honor to be here with you guys tonight. Such great leaders. I've heard so much about you. I've got to meet both Krista and Andre at the events that we've had in Salt Lake City during the summer. It's unfortunate we're not going to have those again this year, but we're going to be doing as much as we can virtually. And guys, I'm here to tell you that USANA is doing great right now. Like, if there's so many things to worry about, and immunology is a huge topic right now. We're going to talk about that. But the one thing I want to assure you going into this is USANA is in a very solid place. From a business standpoint, we're good. Our sales are good. Our sales are as good as they've ever been. And that's because our products are in huge demand, because people are using these products to help them in their journey to keep themselves and keep their families well. And that's really what we're all about. We're healthcare workers in a different way. So, and then also I just want to share with you that, because some people are wondering, well, how are you guys doing R&D, if USANA is shut down? But USANA has never actually been shut down. We're what's considered an essential business. And so our company has been up and operating. As a matter of fact, we've added shifts since this whole COVID situation came out. So we used to be running 1 shift at the Salt Lake City production facility, and now we're running double shifts every single day. So literally, we're turning out as much product, as much health products as we possibly can, because I'm telling you, like, we can't make enough. Like, whatever we make, we sell, and then there's a back order of it. So we're making as much as we possibly can at the moment. The laboratories have never shut down. I've got some great scientists on my team that they've always been there to work in the laboratories. We've got quality assurance, so we've got 4 research laboratories at USANA headquarters, and 3 of those 4 laboratories never missed a day, so they never shut down. Our one, the advanced development laboratory, we did shut that one down for a couple weeks period of time, just out of an abundance of caution, but now that one's back up and operating too. So not only are we producing products that people need today, but we're also working on the future technology that people are going to need to maintain their health in the future. Because, this thing's not going away anytime soon. When it does, there's going to be something behind it and something behind it and something, because that's just the kind of world we live in right now. We live in a very interconnected world. And so we're always going to have things coming up that we need to address. So let me jump quickly into, let me see if I can share my screen here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Can you guys see that okay? You can see the slides? Okay, great. Okay, so I love to start with this slide. I start almost every presentation with this slide because this really brings us back to the roots of the company. What are we all about? And this company, USANA, we're so blessed because we weren't started by a salesman or some person that was out to make a fortune in network marketing or whatever. We started with a genuine scientist. So Dr. Wentz, the way I know him is back in graduate school when I was getting those degrees, those master's and PhD degrees. One of the specialty areas I was studying was immunology. And a lot of the papers that I read and studied and copied the techniques from were Dr. Wentz's papers. So he was actually a professor here at University of Utah. He did a lot of stuff. He started his own immunology company and then eventually started a human nutrition company called USANA. And so You know, I love this guy. I really do. I've known him for decades now. You know, I'm really inspired by him. He's a good man. He's good through and through. But I just love his philosophy of this when you meet the needs of your customers, growth and prosperity will follow. And in every business class I've ever taken, that's the goal. That's the ideal. Is people are always trying to push stuff off on the consumers, you know, and get them to buy things that they don't really need and stuff. But Dr. Wentz and the best entrepreneurs are people that meet the needs of people. So they go out and they find what's missing in this world. How can I contribute? And if you do that and you're successful in doing that, you're never going to have to strive for business, because business is just going to come to your door. And that's exactly what's happened with USANA. So Dr. Wentz was really into human nutrition. So he was an immunologist. He worked in virology, immunology, a lot of the diagnostic tests, things like that. And one thing that struck him was, you know, these diagnostics and everything are great, you know, but wouldn't it be great to be able to help people before they need these diagnostic tests? And then so he started exploring into human nutrition, and USANA is what came out of that. So almost 3 decades into USANA, we're now a very mature company. We've got a very robust product development pipeline, but it's all based on this philosophy of Dr. Wentz of meeting the genuine needs of our customers. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the immune system. And the immune system is something that everybody's got one to some extent or another. Some people have a compromised, most people have a fairly normal immune system, but there's 3 different phases to your immune system. You've got surface immunity, which is things like your skin and your saliva and things that protect pathogens from getting in your body. But if they happen to get through, then you've got what's called innate immunity, which are these things called phagocytes and white blood cells that go through and kind of mop things up, things that happen to sneak through. And then you also have adaptive immunity, which are things like antibodies. So these are very important when you're encountering a novel infectious condition that you've never seen before. And it takes a little while. But the thing that these things have in common is that they all have similar mechanisms, and they all require your body to be in tip-top shape in order for these, all of these immune systems to work properly. So some of the common sense ways that we have of supporting your immune system, okay, I've been interviewed on, I've been on Dr. Oz show recently, I've been on radio, I've been on television, I've been interviewed by so many journalists over this past few months, where they're talking about, well, what can we do? What does the future look like? And actually, a lot of it is really common sense. One of the major things for your immune system is getting sleep at night, okay? And this is a major, particularly when people are under stress, they're finding it hard to get enough sleep. But this is something that's very important, because sleep is probably the most important thing for regenerating your body and giving it time for the immune response to work. Exercising regularly. Okay, I know we're under lockdown. A lot of us are under lockdown, but you've got to find ways to exercise. I was really depressed when my gym got closed down, you know, because I was going to the gym every day, but I had to figure things out. So I figured out walking, bike riding, things that I could do in isolation to make sure. And you don't need to be a marathon, you know, athlete to have a good immune system. You just need to make sure that you're getting your lymphatic system, which is the muscles in your body, moving every single day to keep your immune system pumping. Minimizing stress to the extent that you can, eating healthy and balanced diet. You know, and this is harder to do because food is, it's not in short supply right now, but it's real sporadic. Like I've seen shortages of fresh fruits and vegetables here in Utah. So I don't know how it is, Andre, down in Florida. You know, I'll bet it's a lot better in Florida because that's where most everything's grown. But here we've actually had a shortage of really nutritious food. So even the doctors, the physicians, people that don't really talk about supplementation are telling their clients to supplement. You know, take a good quality multivitamin to make sure that you're getting all the nutrients that your body needs. Of course, hand washing. You know, this is something we should have been doing all along. A lot of us do that. Some of us didn't. But but this is something that hopefully will stay with us for a long time. And then supplementation. You know, USANA is all about supplementing the diet. We're getting into the foods area where we're going to be producing nutritious foods and things like that. But our real specialty is supplementing the diet so that when whatever you eat, you take USANA supplements and you'll make sure that you're as healthy as you can be. So the real core for supplementation, people ask me, okay, how should I start into this? Like what should I do? And I said, okay, well, you want to cover most of your bases first. Okay, we'll talk about specialty nutrition in a little bit, but really you want to make sure that you don't have any deficiencies, because this is something that it's all over the news right now. You can read it. There's journal articles. There's millions of medical journal articles that are coming out right now, where they're studying what are the risk factors for all sorts of being immune compromised. And a lot of it boils down to nutrition. So it's been known for a long time that vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, the B vitamins, selenium, which is a trace mineral, but it's very important. And then also this element called zinc, which is a metal. All of these compounds are essential for proper immune system function. So people that are deficient in these, and you'd be surprised, there's a lot of people that are deficient. They have no idea because they don't show any symptoms from it. But if you're deficient in these things, you're not going to have a proper immune system function. And so the first thing that I tell people to do is make sure you're getting all your bases covered by taking a very high quality multivitamin, multimineral. And Essentials from USANA was the best in the world by far for the longest time. And recently, a few years back, we came out with Cell Essentials, and I'll tell you why that one's even better as we get down the road. But like, this is something that everybody has to take. Okay, so you need the core minerals and the Vita antioxidant every day. And then USANA also has, I'll skip over this because I'm on a time limit. So an exciting thing about the Cell Essentials that a lot of people out there probably don't know, because it just came down over the last couple of weeks, is that USANA just recently was issued patents on the intelligence technology, which is the base of Cell Essentials. So this is very hard to do these days. So in my history, I've written dozens and dozens of nutritional patents. And I'll tell you, prosecuting a patent these days and actually getting it issued by the US Patent Trademark Office is almost impossible. But the scientists at USANA, before I even got there 5 years ago, they started laying down this technology and filing these patents. And so this Cell Essentials technology is one of the only nutritional technologies in the world out there right now that's got a full patent on it. And it relates to increasing lifespan and longevity. And so it's really interesting. It's a really interesting technology that they've been able to master, this cell signaling technology, and be able to patent that and be out there in front of all of our competition on that. So that's a really exciting breakthrough. Some of the products that we have in our portfolio, USANA's got a great portfolio of immune supporting products, and things like proflavanol, you know, where it contains grapeseed extract and poly C, vitamin C, and the anthocyanidins in grapeseed extract work really well with vitamin C, and they actually boost the white blood cells in your body and enable those phagocytes to be able to go through and mop up a lot of stuff that's in your body. So like I was saying, that adaptive immunity is very important, that you have vitamin C and that you have these anthocyanidins. Poly C is another product that, you know, we're having trouble making enough of this stuff worldwide right now because it's proving to be just very popular among people. This is a product that's been around for quite a while. I know that people that have been using it love the results of this, and now we've got a whole ton of new users, people that are new to this product that are really believing in this product, and this is actually shot to the top of our sales list because it's become just a very popular product for people out there that are wanting to optimize their immune system. Vitamin D, you can't underestimate this. Just Google it. you know, Google the news and vitamin D. There's tons of papers coming out right now. And I've got doctor friends, medical doctors, that are coming to me and saying, have you seen that research on vitamin D? And I'm like, yeah, I've seen it, but you know what? This is old news. I've known this for 20 years, you know, like we've known that vitamin D has a huge effect on the immune system for 20 years now. But honestly, there's this whole group of particularly medical doctors out there that didn't believe it. And now they're seeing the data and it's being quantified by major institutions, medical universities. And so this is something that, again, vitamin D it's been known that in areas where you have low sunlight, long winters, deficiencies of vitamin D, you also get immune system issues. And I mean, the link has been obvious for a long time, but now, I mean, it's being quantified and I guess it's moving over from the side over into mainstream science now. So this is another product that, you know, people should be supplementing with vitamin D. They should definitely get their blood checked to make sure that they're not deficient in vitamin D. And if they are, there's a real quick fix for that, which is vitamin D supplementation. Probiotics. You know, this is another area where you can give your immune system a huge boost by ingesting good bacteria. And, you know, I think people are waking up to this. You know, it used to be like, oh, I'm eating bacteria. How gross. You know, that's terrible. Why would I do that? But there's actually really good bacteria. And these ones are lactobacillus and bifidobacterium that are clinically proven strains. And actually, USANA, I still believe has the best probiotic on the market. We're actually working on second and third generation probiotics. So in every country where USANA probiotic is sold, it's one of the best selling products there for a reason, is because it makes people physically feel much better. Like on a daily basis, you'll feel better if you take a probiotic. But we're also working on targeted probiotics right now, which I can't tell you too much about that right now, because we're a public company and I can't like disclose stuff ahead of time. But this is a huge area where USANA is going to be the leader in. I committed to our board of directors at this last board meeting that we are going to be the world leader in probiotics and immunological health by the year 2030. Okay, which is a very aggressive goal because there's a lot of companies shooting for that. But I really believe that we can do that. I think we're in a position where we can capture that. Okay, another product. This is a fairly new product. It's shooting up in the sales because it works really well. This happens to be one of my favorites because I have a lot of insider information on this product. I've seen the clinical studies. We've run clinical studies over the last 2 years in Toronto, Canada, during cold and flu season in Toronto, where we put over 100 patients on the product each year. And we've seen just tremendous effects in what's called protective immunity or protective chi. Okay, so this is a product that not everybody knows about, but the people that know about it stay on this all the time. I've got my whole family on this one every day now. I've got all my friends on this one every single day now. This one is brilliant because what proglucamine does is it relies on a combination of ancient technology and very modern science. And so the ancient technology in there is 2 traditional Chinese medicine ingredients called reishi and shiitake, which are both mushrooms, they're fungus. But they contain polysaccharides that have a specific effect on stimulating the immune system. And they've been known for thousands of years in Chinese medicine. Well, we incorporated these 2 ingredients with a proprietary yeast extract, and the beta-glucan that we isolate from yeast also has a synergistic effect with the reishi and the shiitake. And what we see is a very safe product. Like this has a very safe profile. So people take this on a daily basis. It boosts your immune system and doesn't really, there really isn't any, there's been no side effects or safety issues with it. But what we see is that it gives people a very nice boost. And when I was on the Dr. Oz show a few months back, we had a talk about this product and about mushrooms in general. And mushrooms have been used for thousands of years by Native American tribes throughout China, North America, here in the southwestern US. The Native American use certain tree fungus. And whenever there was something going around in their tribe, they didn't know what it was, but if people were starting to fall ill in the tribe, everybody would go on to mushroom tea. So they'd make this mushroom tea, and everybody in the tribe would start drinking mushroom tea, and it would help them get through. And the way it does this is because the polysaccharides that are in there are very specific for helping raise the good aspects of your immune system. So anyway, this is a great product. It's fairly new. It's rising up on the list, but I'll tell you, this is personally one of my favorites that I would never be without. My pantry is stocked full of this right now. And not only is it for me and my family, and I mail it to everybody that I know, but I also give it to all my friends too. And the ones that are taking it love it. Zinc is a mineral that's very important. It's been known for decades in immune system function. And this is also incorporated into the proglucamine. So the proglucamine, I hate the name of it. I'll tell you flat out, the name is just awful. I don't know who came up with the name of it, but it's the greatest product with the worst name. But it's got the reishi, shiitake, the beta glucans, and zinc in there, which are just like, it's exactly what your body needs for really supporting your immune system functioning. Okay, so we have some research publications coming out pretty soon. One of these has already been published in the European Journal of Integrative Medicine. 2 more are submitted and will be published soon, but these are the human clinical studies that we did in Canada. And so you'll be able to see these, you'll be able to read them in their entirety, and you're gonna see, I mean, it's amazing the effect that we had by using proglucamine in people that were susceptible to cold and flu. So this is really exciting. We're gonna make a big deal of it once the 3rd publication is just been accepted recently, and that's the one that gives the full details of the human clinical study, and that will be coming out where people can read that in the near future. Okay, so intelligence technology, like I said, that this product recently was granted patents from the US Patent and Trademark Office. The whole key behind Cellsentials is that not only are we providing your body with the vitamins and minerals that you need on a daily basis, but we've also unlocked the code to a lot of the biological pathways in your body, which are called cell signaling pathways. And it turns out these things, I first started studying them back in 1980, like in the late 1980s, 87, 89, when I was in my master's degree. People were just starting to understand what these cell signaling pathways were, and they were all the rage, but nobody knew what to do with them. Well, now we're 30 years down the road, and people have figured out ways of manipulating these cell signaling pathways to actually benefit and turn on certain processes within your body. And USANA is the first company out there to be able to not only commercialize this, patent it, and make it practical, but we're the first people that have it in distribution worldwide. So it's really amazing. So these are some of the ingredients that we're using right now as cell signaling compounds. Things like alpha lipoic acid, which is a very rare amino acid, only occurs in trace amounts in the human body, but if you put it in larger amounts, it signals pathways within your body that are very beneficial. So these are just some of the ingredients that we've worked with that these actually fall under our patents right now. So these are all patented for the pathways that we filed for, but we've got several dozen other compounds under development right now that trigger all different cell signaling pathways. So this is really exciting. We're going to be able to it's almost like putting a remote control on the human body. It's like biohacking, which I love doing this. It's like, I really believe, I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that people are designed to live 150 years healthy. Okay, and I really think that by this biohacking, by providing the optimal nutrition, hijacking these cell signaling pathways, particularly if they've gone wrong, is really going to unlock our maximum lifespan. So I'm really excited about doing that with USANA. So anyway, so the whole idea behind Cellsentials is that we're targeting and activating specific natural pathways. So we're not doing anything weird. You know, we're not putting like synthetic chemicals in your body, you know, weird fluorinated or chlorinated chemicals and like drugs or anything like that. We're using natural chemicals to activate natural pathways in your body, but in a very selective way. And some of the things that we can do with this is that we can unlock your personal optimized health. Because Andre, yours is going to be different than Krista's. It's going to be different than mine. Okay, we're all humans, so we're going to have some things in common, but our biological pathways and our cell signaling is going to be very different from each other. So the great thing about this is the compounds that we use, if your body needs them, it will use them, and if it doesn't need them, it throws them out because it's just food. So it's really great. So it's like you get all the benefits without any of the downside risk from it. So USANA has always been about nourishing and protecting. Okay, this is Dr. Wentz's thing. You know, his whole thing was to provide vitamins and minerals in the optimal bioavailable form so that your body could utilize them. You wouldn't have any deficiencies. Your body would operate optimally. And then he got into antioxidants and protecting your body and realized he was one of the early people in understanding that taking antioxidants will protect your body. But now we're into the process. This is the third generation of USANA technology in the Cell Essentials, where we're now into what's called Renew. Okay, and Renew is using cell signaling pathways to actually recycle things within your body. So the mitochondria that produce all the energy within your body, you know, they're great and they're meant to last for a long time, but eventually they burn out, they get polluted, and they you know, they don't work very efficiently, and they need to be killed off and they need to be recycled. Well, these cell signaling compounds that we have, like I said, we just got a patent issued for being able to trigger that recycling process within the body. So Renew is something that's unique to USANA. Okay, I don't see any other companies out there doing it, or if they're saying it, they're not actually doing it, because I'm telling you, no other company has a science team like USANA does. You know, I know a lot of these guys in this industry. I've been in the industry for 30 years. I know everybody in this industry. And a lot of them are full of BS when they tell you that, oh, we've got scientists, we're a science company. That's total BS. They have no scientists. It's all marketing, and they steal other people's products. So I'm really proud to work for a company that's the real deal here, USANA, and to help carry on Dr. Wentz's vision. So some of the major benefits that you get from Cell Essentials, in addition to immune system functioning, which is super important these days, is it's got so many benefits for your body on every biological system in your body. So like I said, when you're guiding new people towards nutrition, you know, the specialty products like Pro-Glucamine are great, probiotic is great, the Proflavanol C100 is fantastic, the Poly-C is fantastic. Those are all specialty, those are called optimizers. But the essentials, you have to get them on the essentials first, because those other things aren't going to work as well if they don't have the foundation. If they're deficient in vitamin A, there's no other product that we have in our line that's going to fix that. They have to be on Cell Essentials first, and then the other stuff is going to work even better for them. So anyway, so that's my shtick for tonight. I thank you for being with me, and gosh, it was fun. I love doing this stuff.
Incredible. Incredible. Thank you so much for that amazing information, Dr. Rob. We have some questions here that we're seeing. Krista, do you want to take that first question we're seeing here?
Yes, I just have to first say, like, I've been taking the products for 12 years and I'm still blown away. I was writing like crazy, but how incredible is it that we have access to USANA? Just so grateful that I know about USANA. Thank you, Dr. Rob, for all this great information. So I have one question that came through that I think it will be very timely for all the moms and dads and caregivers who are on here. So right around the corner, after the summer, we'll be getting our kids ready for back to school in this new climate, if you will. Dr. Rob, do you have any advice for us parents on how to prepare our kids in terms of their immune system? And obviously, the sooner we start, the better to get them ready for back to school.
Yeah, fantastic. Great question. So a couple of things come to mind. from that question is number one, and this doesn't relate to USANA, but one thing is, we've been talking a lot about hand washing and everything like that. That's super important with kids. I raised 3 sons myself, and I remember when they were young and they were in, what they call primary school and things like that. Man, they would come home sick every week. They'd bring something home and they drag it back with them. And a lot of that is just due to, kids don't have the level of hygiene and things like that. So you just got to train them real well on how to just maintain and keep that hygiene. Good nutrition is super important for kids. Unfortunately, a lot of parents, they don't have time to really prepare good meals for their kids and things like that. So I would, to the extent possible, try and give your kids a balanced good meal. Don't send them to school on an empty stomach ever. Just make sure that they get, some protein and some carbohydrates and some antioxidants. USANA does have some children's vitamins. We have our,
USANA.
Yeah, the USANA. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now. It's been a while since I've had kids, so they're all on my products right now. So the USANA is a great, that's a great way of covering all the nutritional bases. And then another important thing with kids is probiotics. This is really super, super huge. Beginning when a kid is, even small, like 3, 4, 5, it's not too early to get them started on probiotics. Because that actually helps colonize their colonize their GI tract. And a lot of that helps set up your immune system for the future. So they're finding out that a lot of kids that are not exposed to probiotics or live too sterile of an environment actually end up with compromised immune systems. And so probiotics is something that's very safe, effective. Kids don't mind taking it. It tastes great. You just pop it open, or you could pour it in their juice or whatever it is in the morning. So those would be 3 things that I would suggest: is hygiene, proper nutrition as much as you can, and then also the USANA.
Amazing.
That's such great information. And I got to tell you, I take most of the products, and I was even more excited that I do take them just hearing from you. And I appreciate what you just said about the probiotics, which actually leads to one of the questions that came in here that we hear a lot about, supporting your immunity with vitamin C. How important is gut health to supporting immunity?
Oh man. Okay, Andre, that's a great question. So it's totally important and totally underrated. So when we talked about those 3 barriers of the immune system, number 1 is the barrier function, right? And a lot of the barrier function that breaks down and then causes immune system problems is actually your gut. And it's from people eating things that they shouldn't eat, things that have nitrates, preservatives, too much salt, too much acid, and it can damage the epithelial cells within your GI tract, and then that allows leaky stuff to leak into your body that then triggers an immune response. So really, one of the things that is one of the best preventative things you can do for immune system health is keeping a very good barrier function. So things would be, eating mild foods, not eating things that are too strong. And then also daily supplementation with probiotics. So USANA probiotic is a fantastic standalone supplement, but I also make sure I get a lot of probiotic foods in my diet too. So there's some great fermented juices out there. There's this stuff called kefir, which is a fermented, it's milk, but it's fermented with, I think, 11 types of bacteria. So those are the kinds of food that I like to eat. Kimchi, a lot of fermented foods. And I'll tell you, in countries where they have good gastrointestinal health, they tend to eat a lot of fermented food. It's a great way of preserving food in a natural way, but also those are beneficial bacteria, and they actually stimulate your immune system and make you much more healthy. So I think that you hit on it. It's something that's totally underrated. But like I said, USANA is going to be a leader in microbiome and in immune system support by 2030. I guarantee it.
I believe it. So I think we have one more question. Time for one more question. Hey, Dre?
Yep, one more.
All right. So Let's just summarize this. I know there's a lot of guests on who might be very new to USANA. This might be their first experience. So what is one single action that they can prioritize if they say, okay, I want to get started with something? What would you say is the number one thing that they need to start doing?
Yeah. Okay. So here's, okay, going back to that first slide that I had.
Mhm.
USANA's got a lot of products. We've got a lot of great specialty products, health products, but I would take them back to the very basics. They need one of the essentials. Okay. And we've got several essentials depending on what country you're in, because there's different countries that have different formulas. But the Essentials, I believe, is the best product that's out there. It's got that 3 levels, the Nourish, Protect, Renew. But then also, if for some reason you can't afford the Essentials, or you want to start slower or whatever, there's things like the Body Rocks. And the Body Rocks are a great multivitamin that covers your daily needs. We also have some test marketing of a product in Mexico, which is called Vita Daily, which is a smaller version of like the Essentials technology, but it's more like, it's like the training wheels version, right? Because something is, in my mind, and I've had disagreements with people about this, but in my mind, something is better than nothing, right? So there's some people that are like, well, if you're not all in on USANA, then you're not part of us or whatever. And I disagree with that. I think there's a lot of people that want to be with us, and we have to give them a bridge into where we are, because we're very advanced. We've been in the industry for 30 years, 20 years. And so I would say that people can start, but they need to start with one of the essentials. So even if they start with Usanimals, I've seen adults start with Usanimals. My wife doesn't like taking pills. That's fine. Okay, so you just chew a few Usanimals and take it that way. We're working on some other things right now where we're going to make it very convenient to add essentials to food. Okay, I can't tell you a lot about the products that we're working on right now, but we've got stuff that is going to be dosage forms that are a lot easier to use than pills and tablets. So it'll be a lot easier for people to just add that to their daily cooking, to their daily food. But that's stuff that's still being worked out right now. But I would say start with something, but start with making sure you get the A, B complex, C, D, E. Make sure you get all of those, the vitamins, the minerals, things like that. And then you're going to feel it. Like everybody, I've never had anybody say this is not true. Okay. But when you start on this, if you've never supplemented, within a month, you're going to feel better energy. You're going to sleep better. You're going to notice weird things like your fingernails start growing a lot faster. Okay. And people are like, what's that about? Well, that's a sign of protein synthesis. That means your body is operating optimally, and your protein is being synthesized. Your hair is going to grow faster. Things like that, which are cosmetic. I saw Andre do that. It won't work all the time, but sometimes it will. But anyway, just these are things that people are going to notice, and then they'll be consumers forever for USANA, because they're going to feel so much better. They're not going to want to go back to the way they felt before. So that would be my suggestion.
That is
Absolutely.
incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
yeah, and it's like, I'm so grateful to learn the science. And at the end of the day, when you take USANA, it's the difference you can feel. That is the USANA difference.
Yeah.
And speaking of USANA difference, Dr. Rob Sinnott, first of all, we want to thank you so much. And on the behalf of the almost 3,000 people around the world tuned in right now, for being here with us today. And we're going to be here for the next 3 weeks. And next week, on July 1st, it will be the USANA difference, back here with my tag team partner here, Krista, and the incredible, the knowledgeable Dr. Rob Sinnott. So we just want to thank you, Dr. Sinnott, for your time. We want to thank you for your knowledge, and we're so excited to be here with you for the next month.
Yeah. No, this is exciting. Thanks, Andre. And thanks, Chris. I really appreciate it. It's been great being on with you. And thank you for everybody who tuned into this. Bring your friends next time. We'll see how many people we can get this out to. But USANA, I'm so privileged to be with USANA. I feel blessed every day. I talked with Dr. Wentz just the other day. And, you know, I tell them all the time how grateful, and I wish I'd gotten here 20 years ago. You know, I wish that I had been here 20 years ago to ride this whole thing. But, you know, I'm here now, and we've still got the world to conquer. So it's going to be a great ride. Love you guys. Take care and stay safe.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you,
All right.
guys.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next week.